Well, good morning to those of you that are here. This is our second Amazon Roundtable. My name's Daniel. I'm from GS1, and I'm responsible for our partnerships and communities. And we also have Kevin, who is from Fuel My Website. He's the founder, and Fuel My Website is a partner of GS1. And Kevin's organisation, they're sort of Amazon specialists, if you like. So they work very closely with us at GS1. Actually, a lot of our members are looking to sell on Amazon. So Kevin helps us with any sort of issues they have listing their products and helping them trade on Amazon. So we've got a few questions that people have registered in advance. So we've got one from Lee Taylor and also Louise Cooper. So we're going to probably do you guys first.
Yeah.
Let's see what we have here. So let's bring see if we can bring Louise Cooper in. Louise, I hope you don't mind, but we're going to bring you on screen.
Don't be shy.
Yeah, don't be shy, and we can you can ask your question direct to Kevin. Just 1 second.
So I'm looking at Louise's website, and I'm really interested to understand a bit more about this. So a tanning water, never come across that before. Oh.
Right, let me just
That video.
Hello.
Hang on a minute.
is it allowing you to.
Well, it's not letting me do that. I'm not quite
Quite strange.
It's saying you cannot start your video because the host has stopped it. It's your fault.
Try now.
Oh dear.
There we are.
There we are.
Hi Louise, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank God I brushed my hair.
Tell me about it. So Louise, firstly, I know your question was how do I get products listed on Amazon? That's a great question, yes. Quite a big question. But firstly, tell us a little bit about your product range, because I've never heard of tanning water.
I launched YouGlow tanning water in November last year. Not last year, sorry, the year before. I was originally supplying, I manufactured the product for salons because it's clear and it doesn't make a mess when you're spraying into booths, etc. So it makes it a nice experience for the clients. No smell, so lot less work for the salon owner. And then the pandemic came and we all went, ooh. So I had to diversify very quickly, and that was the self-tan product. And that I didn't expect it to go the way it did, but obviously because everybody was not able to go out and able to practice doing things at home, it was something that they were happy to do. So initially my clients that I'd originally sprayed, and then I approached the salons that I'd originally supplied, and then from there it just went like that, which was amazing. But one of the things that I was approached by some investors, but one of the things that they've all said is, why aren't you on Amazon? Well, why aren't I on Amazon? I've tried really, really hard to get on Amazon.
Oh, so you had tried to get on Amazon?
Yes.
Right.
It's not been, actually I think it would be easier to pull teeth than get onto Amazon.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I mean, what we do is basically help companies get set up and then list their products and then build the stores and all that kind of stuff on Amazon. And I think if Amazon was easy, and we wouldn't exist, we wouldn't need to exist.
No,
really. And I think that's the problem. It's a problem, and it's not a problem for us clearly, but it's a problem. And so whereabouts are you falling? Where are you falling down at the moment? Is it getting the account open?
No, the account was opened. I'd actually put images on there. I have spoken to a couple of people, and I think there's a confusion between me whether or not I'm a vendor or a manufacturer and or a distributor. Now, those things seem to make a difference.
To register your brand, right?
Yes, yeah. Okay. And I want to register the brand because I'm now we're back out in the real world. I'm now going into stores, and I need to make sure that I'm, dotting my I's and crossing my T's from a brand point of view as well.
Fine. So as you are currently, so for Amazon purposes, you are the manufacturer and the brand.
Yes.
So you tick that box that says both. So not distributor is basically where you're buying from someone to sell it on Amazon. So
Yeah.
you need to say you're the brand and the manufacturer. You're also, in order to open up the Amazon, so effectively what you're doing there is that there's two sides to it. The first one is you have to get authority to list in health and beauty generally, which is a gated, which might be where you're at, the gated kind of category. To do that, you need to upload images of your product that clearly shows your brand name, your name and address, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Which is one thing. Then the next stage is to get your brand name accepted. So obviously, going through brand registry is one part of the process. So that's generally you showing if you've got a trademark, you register that.
Yeah.
But it sounds like
I've done that bit.
And has that been all okay? That bit.
The brand registry was fine. I mean, I didn't realise how specific it needed to be, but obviously I just kept going until I think it was the difference between a capital letter and a lowercase letter.
Oh, yeah, it's got to be exactly on the IPO website. Exactly, 100%.
So that was, I just kept going with that until I got the registry done. So I think the brand registry is done.
It's the brand name you're trying to get.
I was the brand name. No, okay.
Right, okay. So the brand name is one thing. So brand name, you need to with that you need to have obviously show your brand name. So is your brand name then Glowtan, is it?
Yes.
Right. So when you're registering the brand, so when you registered on brand registry, the way you registered that, so the easiest way to check that is to click on stores in Seller Central and then click on create a store. That will show your brand name as it's been registered and accepted by Amazon.
Right.
Copy that, and then when you go to add the product and you go through that whole process, distributor or reseller, do it on that name, exactly, so that the brand name being exactly the same as that.
Right.
You should be able to open up. You're going to need to again to upload images of the product, but the minute you mention that you're only a manufacturer or distributor, then you're going to need all invoices and stuff. But if you do, as we say, the two together, so
right.
so manufacturer and
brand,
then you should have less problems. They might ask you to, I mean, when you're taking a picture of an image, if you want, email me. I'll send you like how we take pictures of images, because you effectively need the product in your hand when you're taking a photograph of it, but super clear.
Can I not use the images that I've got on my website?
No, because what they're looking for at the moment, when you're opening the brand name, all they're looking for is to prove that the product's real and that the brand is printed on it. And if you use the stuff on the website, so we do the same all the time. So we're holding products. I've got loads of products on my desk. You literally want to take a picture where you can see it clearly, and it's really HD, so they can see it clearly. And also, when you take a picture of the back of the paper, always have your hand in it, because then they go right. It's only ever used for that brand opening the name. It's not used anywhere else. It's deleted straight after that.
Oh well, I never.
But then
I've been sending them all these pictures and thinking, well, why don't you? Why can't you like it? The website likes it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's not very clear on Amazon, but that's what they're looking for. They're looking for real pictures rather than
right.
like computer generated stuff. And just a quick question. So I take it you've got GS1 barcodes already?
Yes, yeah, GS1. I've barcodes. Everything's on barcoded.
And the company name is on your GS1 account the same as the company name
yes.
registered on Amazon, right?
Yes.
Okay, because that's the next thing when you start adding products.
Was trying to get those two to marry up, making sure that the numbers were exactly the same. At that point, I wished I had about 3 computer screens so that I could double check everything, but I got there in the end. But yes, all of them are, everything's linked together. But again, it's making sure that everything is exactly the same.
That has to be, yeah.
Word for word, letter for letter,
yeah.
Uppercase for lowercase.
Yeah, and even again, I mean, the thing they do check, because there's most stuff on Amazon is done using AI, so computer artificial intelligence.
Yes.
But this kind of part of the process, you actually get a human of some shape or form somewhere in the world looking at it. So yeah. Like things like you put your link to your website on it, they will check your website to make sure the logo looks the same as the logo on your packaging and the name. Right? So So as long as you do that, you should fly through.
Because I actually had a conversation with somebody as well, so they knew that I was real. That was the other thing that I had to do.
Yeah, the problem you've got is each element of Amazon is kind of is standalone. So when you open the account and you sit there with your passport in front of the camera,
Yeah.
that's one thing, right? And then you've got your product, that's another part. Then your brand is another. There's so many different teams. You never get the same person twice, and they generally don't know an awful lot. That's so one thing to remember is with Amazon, don't take it personal, any of it personal, because a lot of our clients kind of go, oh, they hate me. They don't even know who you are. Like, they don't care. It's not that. Just following that process, but that you should be okay with that. And then the next step is then obviously listing your. How many products have you got?
I've only got 7.
That should be okay. But you should be all right to do that. And make sure you do build the store, and it's called enhanced brand content, which is A+ content. Make sure you build that as well.
Right. Okay.
That sits under so the store sits under the tab advertising. Of course it does.
Of course it does.
And the enhanced brand content sits under promotions, I think it is.
Right. Okay.
But I'll double check that in a moment. But yeah, that's so. Then you should be okay then, because your website looks great. If people are looking for your product, you need to be on Amazon. You're right.
Yes, I do need to be on Amazon. It's kind of like the last part of my kind of puzzle, really, is to get onto there now.
Right.
Thank you so much.
No problems. Any other questions?
No, I'm going to go. Obviously not just now. I won't listen to everybody else.
Right. Sure you will.
Yeah. Keyboard Trojan. I will get this done. No, it's been lovely. Thank you so much.
Great. Thanks for that, Louise. Great. Right. Now let me just pop you back in the audience.
Just to let the audience know as well that there is Monica who's in here, and she can help with marketplace and GS1 questions too, because she is indeed GS1. So if you see the responses in the chat there, that's Monica. So it's not just some random know-it-all.
There we go. Great. So I think next up we have.
Just a quick one back to Louise. Just I made a mistake. So stores is now called stores on the tabs, but the A+ content is under advertising. Just for reference.
Great, cool. So I think next up we're going to bring in Lee Taylor. Lee has a question about selling on Amazon in the EU and also in the US. So let me just bring him in and he can ask Kevin directly. There we are. Lee, good morning.
Hi there. Yeah, I don't know if my video's working here or.
I think it should be okay, but no worries. Feel free. So how can we help?
Yeah, so I'm just in the process now at the moment of going through registering with Amazon, but obviously this came up as something through GS1, so I thought, oh, it is something that I want to do in the future, so I thought now's probably a good time to ask. I've done a bit of research into being able to sell into other markets, and I know it was easier before Brexit for the EU. You could sort of store it in the UK and ship across borders. I've done a bit of research on the EU side where it's a case of I think you need to ship your product physically to an EU site for Amazon, and then they can then distribute that throughout the various countries, and there's obviously certain surcharges if it leaves the particular country that you've based yourself in abroad. And I just really wanted a little bit more information on how easy or how difficult, or what the struggles are that people have with doing that.
No problems. And you also mentioned USA as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, for the product that I sell, it's more of a long-term thing that would be, but it is something that I'd like to look at because it's a huge market.
What is your products? Is it the chain powder, chain wax, and chain?
Yeah, powder? Yeah. So it's like chain lubricant for bikes and stuff. So yeah, I mean, anything that you can sell into the US is obviously a big market anyway. Yeah. But certainly biking wise, it's yeah, it could be a big thing over there. But I know that's probably more of a long-term thing. They may even have to do something stateside rather than ship over. So
I mean, yeah, I'll be honest, since Brexit, we have been up until now, been advising most people to, it's just ridiculous, but we've been advising most people to focus on the UK and making the UK really work well. Then duplicating that in the States. The main reason being is as long as your product is okay to sell in the States, obviously make sure that it doesn't break any laws for the ingredients and stuff like that. But it's actually easier for a UK company to sell in the States because it's in the same language and you've done the work already.
Yeah.
And you really, we work with a number of fulfillment houses that enable you to ship like a pallet or a case or whatever it is over to the States. They can actually do the customs element and then ship it straight into the Amazon warehouse for you.
Yeah.
So having your stock in the Amazon warehouse in the States is crucial because they can deal with the customer service anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That's really important. With regards to the EU, it's changing almost on a daily / weekly basis at the moment. There is a EU program. I mean, the most important thing with the EU law, which was the case prior to Brexit as well, believe it or not. But hold on a second. Oh, sorry, I was just looking at the questions coming up. I thought it was yourself. Sorry, Lee. No. So the law was prior to Brexit that if you had your stock in a European warehouse, you have to have the VAT registered in that country.
Yeah, I'd seen that on.
Here it is.
Oh, it must have been me. I mustn't have had it done. Yeah, so I'd sort of found that sort of information and stuff on there, and I thought, right, it's not something I've massively looked into, but it's not something that particularly scares me as such. It's something
it's pretty much the same still, really. I mean, the Amazon Pan EU, because it used to be called Amazon Pan EU, where your stock was in the UK and they would ship it across to Europe, but it was effectively you didn't necessarily need the VAT because they were doing it for you. But now, I mean, if you got, say, for example, VAT, I mean, don't mean double check this, obviously, but if you had VAT registered in or tax registered in France, you wouldn't necessarily have to pay it, but then you send your stock to Amazon FBA in France, they would then transfer it across the rest of Europe for you internally. It's only where you're actually first sending it to, I believe, that you have to have the tax for.
Yeah, that's the way that I saw it, to be fair. I was also looking at, because I don't know if you've had if there's like an Amazon place in Northern Ireland, because I know they're sort of half and half at the moment. They're sort of still in the single market, still part of the customs union as such. I wasn't sure if that sort of got round that issue or not, or whether it was.
I've not seen it. No, I mean, when you ship it, have you shipped anything into Amazon's warehouses yet?
No, I've actually at 11 o'clock I've got a video call with them. So
is that the passport one?
Yeah, so everything else is done. So after I got off the phone off this call last week, so I've got everything sorted and done. And so this is my appointment today, just to get that side of it sorted.
Yeah. So once you've done that, you'll need to do what I was saying earlier, all the whole process of getting the brand name accepted, taking a photograph of the product in your hand, and all that. But when you create a shipment into an Amazon warehouse, that you can't decide where that warehouse is. It's automatically allocated. And certainly in the UK, I created 5-6 shipments in yesterday. I've never seen a Northern Ireland warehouse, to be perfectly honest with you.
Okay.
So I suspect it's always tends to be sort of Coventry, etc., like that.
Yeah.
So I imagine that probably won't work. But there are companies. I mean, I can certainly introduce you to companies that, like maybe if you ping us an email, ping Daniel an email. I can send you a link to a company that specialises in this element. So they're the guys with the warehouses and the freight forwarding, etc.
Okay.
They're based over in Essex, but they are really the experts in this kind of thing. And that's where I always kind of say, look, you need to know on an individual country basis exactly what to have in place. These guys can help with that. They specialise in getting to Amazon warehouses too.
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah.
But yeah, so what I would definitely recommend doing though is once you've done your passport, I'll do that because you have to hold your passport up.
Yeah, I've got it all ready here for later.
So once you've done that, cool. Next thing you should do is try and add a product with your brand name and go and just start getting that process opened up, because that's
yeah. I'm sort of stuck at the moment on that screen on Amazon, so I'm sort of like once I've done the call with them, then I think I can start doing some other stuff, you know, like putting the brand name and stuff on. But I think at the moment it's sort of on that holding screen until I've done this part.
Yeah.
I'll move on. So
the best thing to do is, I mean, we never work building in products directly on Amazon. We always build them on spreadsheets, but one, because you've got backup, two, because there's far more information you can put behind the scene. But for the where you're at currently, all you need to do is, when you go in Seller Central, go inventory, add a product, then search for anything that looks like yours.
Yeah.
Then just try and sell that, and if it's okay, then you should be able to just start loading your product.
Okay.
But load your product with your brand name. Exactly. Is it registered? Trademark your brand?
It's not trademark. So that was something that was listened to before, actually. So I wasn't sure which bit to trademark. Do I trademark the select cycling products, or do I trademark the name of the product? Now, so the company's Select Cycling Products Limited, which is obviously registered. That's how I've registered it with GS1. The product's called Enigma, and the whole range is called Enigma, but there's different variations of Enigma. Enigma sort of covers different varieties of product that you would use for lubrication and stuff. So I wasn't sure whether I'm wasting money by doing each individual product, or just do Select Cycling Products as the brand, and then all other products are sort of under that umbrella. I didn't know. I'm a little. I haven't had any experience with that, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it right now. You've got the Select logo with the S in the middle of the chain.
Yeah.
That's probably, and that's on every product, right? That's on the, yeah. So that's what I'd register.
That's fine. I wasn't sure, because I didn't want to sort of like register like the 6 products and pay 6 times.
And
I could just do Select.
From how long have you been going for?
So started trading in various ways probably about 7 months ago.
If honestly, to give you some advice, over the last, God knows how many years we've been doing this, but the one thing we see time and time again is where you get brands that have started, and throughout the process they change the logo slightly. Yeah, you always do, right?
Yeah.
And every time you change your logo, even tweak it slightly, then that trademark becomes null and void. So what I would actually do is register the name Select Cycling Products rather than the logo. And you can do it yourself. It's not, but you can just check on the IPO website. But it's really important that only really register the brand logo when you're really happy with it. Otherwise, as soon as you change it, I'll send in the chat actually how you this is where you can basically check trademarks.
Okay.
So if you go in there and search for trademark name, that'll be able to tell you if anything's similar to it, and it'll kind of give you a feel. Then when you do register the trademark, there's 2 options. You pay, I think it's 180 quid.
Yeah.
To register, or you pay 100 quid and they'll come back to you with feedback after 2 weeks saying it's likely to get failed or whatever. Then it's quite useful. So you lose less money, but you get a quicker response really on whether it's going to work or not.
Okay. All right, I'll get onto that. Brilliant.
No problems. But yeah, ping us an email and I'll introduce you to the guys that with the freight forwarding, etc. But I mean, honestly, if I were you, I'd focus purely on the UK until you really sussed out. Then it's easy.
Yeah, I mean that was always the plan. It was just as these question and answer sessions came up, I thought, might just ask it, preempt it for like in next year or whenever it happens to be. But yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I think the beauty is once you've got the UK site correct, everything's working. Then it's easy to transfer it to the States, to France, etc.
Brilliant, awesome.
No worries. What I'll do, Lee, is I'll link us all that together on email afterwards.
Perfect. That'd be great. Yeah.
No worries.
Nice one. Thanks for your help. Good
stuff. Well, thanks for your question. I'm going to just pop you back in the audience. Just see how we do that. There we are. Right. So the next question we have is from Eduardo, and he is from Eco Golf Limited. I believe he's having a bit of trouble with the FBA and accepting GS1 GTINs. So Eduardo, I'm going to bring you on screen, and then you can ask Kevin anything you like. Let's just see.
Well, within reason. I mean, I can
Amazon related, of course.
Yeah.
Right, there we are. Just 2 seconds.
Hi, Louise. Yeah, we can send you that. I'll send you that link as well. So Daniel will introduce it.
Hang on. I think can you hear me? Or
Yes, we can. I've just made you. You should.
I think I've joined as a panelist. Probably it's the wrong thing to do there.
No, that's fine. That's fine. You can join as a panelist. You should be able to put your.
Okay,
If you don't know video.
Or not, but anyway, good morning. I've basically been struggling to get my first product onto the Seller Central site, and it seems to me, after loads of emails and conversations, that there's an affiliation problem between my brand and the fact that my GT13 numbers were brought in Eco Golf Limited, and my brand's Panda Tees. And so therefore, when I try and put in my first item, it throws me out and gives me an error message each time. So they've asked now to see, it's in the middle of being trademarked, but at the moment they won't be ready for about another, I think, 6 weeks. But they've asked to see a copy of the website to see a sort of affiliation between the brand, the company, and the GT13 numbers. And I'm just in the midst of waiting to hear back on that. But at the moment, I'm sort of just stuck, really.
So what I mean, this might be one where Monica can jump in as well. So currently with so your GS1 numbers are linked to to the same company name but different brand name. Is that right?
Yeah, sorry. So yeah, so they were purchased through Eco Golf Limited, which is our limited company, but we've got a sub brand of that is Panda Tees.
Yeah.
So that's what we're registering at the moment. Our trademark is Panda. So when we're entering the information onto the Seller Central, and obviously we're putting in our brand as Panda, they want to see an affiliation between the brand, I presume, because the GT numbers are with Eco Golf. They want to see some sort of affiliation.
Have you put a sub brand on in the GS1 back end against the barcode?
No.
Because you can put a sub brand on there. Yeah.
Okay. That may be that may be the answer then. I've now sent them a link to our website, which is being built, which obviously shows them the brand. It shows us on the contact page as Eco Golf, but maybe if I could do that.
What about on your own packaging? Have you got Eco Golf with the brand name on as a limited company on the packaging?
No, we haven't. So that's again, that's one of my questions actually. So we haven't got that on. They're actually being manufactured currently. So, but we didn't really want to put that information on there, to be fair, because, as I say, it's just the Eco Golf is just a holding company for selling these particular tees with this brand on. Right,
because I mean, what you might find now, it's just there are ways around this, right? What you might find is kind of, if you've got, when you've got the finished product or when you've got a sample of the products, is to kind of put a sticker with the company name and address on it, on the product.
Okay.
And then take a pic, like I was saying earlier, taking a picture of the product in your hand.
Yeah.
With that kind of sticker on there. I mean, most companies would put, although the brand is Panda Tees, you probably would want to put your company name and address on the back anyway, or certainly some sort of contact detail.
Right.
Like I'm just looking at when you look at the different brands you've got around the house, let's say, or in the office, you tend to see the brand name, but then the company name, like Unilever. You've got Unilever at the bottom of the product, but then it might be, I don't know, Persil or whatever it is.
Yeah, sure, I understand.
You probably should put that anyway, but then that way that will get you across the line there. Also, okay. put the sub brand on GS1 as well, because you can put that on there.
That's quite straightforward to do that. Is you just presumably just log in and put the sub brand on there? Is that it's fairly easy
Yeah,
to do?
I think there are fields. I need to double check and log into my GS1 account, but there is a field there for sub. I think it's brand, sub brand, then you've got description, product details,
Okay.
and the SKU number as well. There may be a screen grab of that alongside. Have you sent them a copy of your GS1 certificate yet?
Yes, I have. Yeah, but again, that doesn't link them at the moment to Panda Tees. But maybe she said if I put that as a sub brand, that may well do that.
Yeah, and if you get any other issues, again, let me know. I can help you. But I think once you, and how long before your product's actually ready to get? Have you got any samples yet?
Sorry,
have you got any samples with you at all?
Yes, we have. Yeah, we have got samples. So, I mean, we should actually receive everything through in about 6 weeks.
So the sample you've got, you have a hanging card inside generally in the label, don't you? With a bit of string in the hanging card. I was in the t-shirt world about 10 years ago. So that hang card, you could have one created as you are now, hang card with the swing card, what they call it, with your brand name on one side, on the back side, company name and address. Have it printed, show it on the sample, and take a picture of that and show Amazon that. That might speed the process up for you.
Okay.
So you're only talking a business card ultimately with that information on it hanging on the t-shirt. That will help you get that across the line, no doubt.
Okay, brilliant. And just one more thing, obviously selling on fulfillment, as far as the barcodes on the boxes are concerned, what else do Amazon need once these are sent up to Amazon? So once there's the individual products are sent up with the GT numbers on and the barcodes, do they then have to add something else onto? No,
I mean, I've actually just shipped in 400 t-shirts yesterday for a client of ours. So this is quite fresh. So with t-shirts, you need each t-shirt needs to be individually wrapped, either in they ideally want a poly bag, but the way our client got around that was put them into into envelopes that fit the t-shirts in, so branded envelopes, because he didn't want to have plastic bags. I think none of us really want plastic bags, so find the packaging that works for your t-shirt. On the outside of each individual, so you know.
Mine, sorry, just to interrupt you, mine are golf tees. Golf tees.
Oh, sorry, t-shirt.
That's right. Yeah, sorry, they're bamboo golf tees. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, perfect. Right. Okay. So, how many golf tees come in a pack? Is it you selling singly or packs of?
No, they're packs. There's 7 different types and sizes, but they come in packs of 30 a box. So
30 a box. Right. Okay. So, yeah. So it's doesn't change. So firstly, you need to have a different barcode or different GTIN on each. I'm assuming colours or.
Yeah. So yeah, size and colour. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So you need so every single SKU has to have its own identifier. They've got the GTIN on it, sticker. So you can either use GTIN barcodes, have them printed on the boxes. Alternatively, you can have. So a lot of startups we work with start with plain boxes, maybe just a logo on, and either print the GTIN barcodes themselves on like address labels.
Yeah.
Or with Amazon, once you put them on Amazon's on the Amazon Seller Central, once you create them as fulfilled by Amazon, you can actually print off Amazon ASIN barcodes, which are effectively look exactly like a barcode, but they're Amazon specific. So you need to have one of those on every individual SKU going in. In terms of the boxes, so if let's say you've got you're sending in 50 boxes of red. For want of a better word, right? So you've got 50 SKUs of red. They all go into one outer container, which is an outer shipping box. Everybody uses different terminology, so I never know what anyone understands. But so the shipping box, they all go into the shipping box, and on the outside of that, when you're about to ship into Amazon, they'll give you 2 labels. One is a UPS label, and one is their own label, and that label just stuck on the box will tell the Amazon warehouse guys where it's got to go within the warehouse.
Okay.
Great.
And so at the moment we've had it all set up, so we've put the GTIN numbers on the boxes in individual ones, but that will suffice with Amazon, will it? That's enough for them.
Yeah, the crucial thing is, so if they come in cases, so let's say you've got 30 boxes in a case, like a shelf-ready case. So, like, let's say you're saying, so that, you know, like an SRP pack. What you need to make sure is what goes into Amazon. There's no barcode on that SRP pack unless you're selling the SRP, the shelf-ready pack.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So,
Sure.
so
yeah. So all the individual boxes. So all the red. So the small boxes of red teas, for instance, 30 in each box, all with the same barcode on.
That's fine. Yeah. Just make sure that the box is neutral. The box they all going is neutral, as in it's got no barcodes on it.
Yeah. Got it.
Because like the easiest way is, for those watching this as well, is the shelf ready pack is when you go to Tesco's, for example, you've got like a cardboard box with all the packets of crisps in it, let's say, or the snacks. That's called a shelf ready pack. So when Tesco's are buying from you, they're buying the individual pack, so they're not buying the shelf ready pack. But on Amazon, a lot of people sell the actual outer pack, the shelf ready pack. So because, you know, like if you go on looking at food, for example, you'll see most people sell boxes of 10 or 12, which is the shelf ready pack, rather than individual bags. So they've got a different barcode because they're for most
selling them. No, I understand. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so that should be fine. So basically I just need the 2 labels, and then I send all the individual boxes within it with their own numbers, basically, and barcodes.
Because when you build a shipping for Amazon, you're listing exactly what's going to go in those boxes. Amazon then tell you where it's going to be shipped to. So those labels are absolutely crucial to make, and it's a new label for every time you ship in, basically.
Okay, lovely. That's great. Thank you.
No problem.
And just on your first point there about the brand, it's worth noting that if you go into My Number Bank on your GS1 account, you do have a filter to put the sub brand in under there as part of the product data. So that might also help to do that as well.
I'll do that. No, brilliant. Thank you. Great. Yeah, thanks for your help, guys. Really good.
No worries.
No worries. Great. So let me just pop you back.
So we've got a question from Samantha.
Samantha, yeah. So Samantha asks, she's having a challenge with the CPSC conformality in America as they retail in the toy category. So she thought that her existing UKCA would suffice, but is having some issues with that.
Do you know what? I don't know what CPSC or UKCA means. So could you elaborate, Samantha? Amazon, all the Amazon questions are fine. I can answer those, but I'm not really sure what they mean. So while we're waiting for Samantha to reply, so Samantha can't talk because it's too noisy in the office. So we'll see what she comes back with. But yeah, I think from the most tricky things we find, while I'm waiting for Samantha, the most important thing or tricky thing we find right now with Amazon is obviously registering your account, getting that accepted. Then it's your barcodes, like your GS1, your GTM barcodes. It's really crucial to make sure everything links. Okay, the CE safety mark. I would have thought it was. I mean, I'm no expert, right? I'll find out for you, Samantha. I've got people we know that deal with this. I can't offer you any advice really on the safety marks. If you could email Daniel, or we'll email you, and I'll introduce you to people that will be able to know for sure. Yes,
Samantha, I'll link you up with Kevin after this session, and we'll take it from there. I guess one other question we had registered in advance was from a chap called Mohammed Khan, and he was from a company called Salzoy. And he asked, if you use a barcode on a product that's been discontinued, can that barcode be assigned to a new product? And unfortunately, that's not the case, because with the barcodes, they are globally registered to specific products and licensed in that way. So any change in product, whether it's I don't know, a color or size of a t-shirt, or slight variation in, say, the composition of that product, it does require a new barcode. So they're not able to pass that one on.
And there's actually also an Amazon answer to that as well. So when you register a product on Amazon, you use a barcode, right? You use a GTIN. And that GTIN is indelible. You can't ever delete it from Amazon. So if you register a product on Amazon using a barcode, and you suddenly decide, okay, I want to use that barcode to launch a new product with, basically all of the reviews, etc., are all linked to that barcode. So Amazon have got these things called ASINs, which are links to barcodes. So you can change your SKU, like in all those kind of numbers, but you can't change the barcode. So you can't transfer reviews, you can't transfer sales history, etc., etc. You can change the titles, etc. But then Amazon will suspend your account because nothing relates to what you sold. So you have to do that. And Monica confirms that's also true for Google. Like barcodes are the one thing that you can't change really. So I'm afraid you're going to have to start from scratch and hope that, and build your sales up again. Really, sorry about that. I think that's all the questions, isn't it?
I think yeah, for today that's all the questions, unless anyone else in the attendees has got any last minute questions they'd like to ask Kevin before we shoot. Do speak up now. A tip for the day, Monica says. There you go. No pressure, Kevin.
There you go, Monica. Tip for the day: wear sun cream. Clear your water.
Always great. Well, listen, if anyone does have any questions over the next week or two, we will be doing another session in 2 weeks' time. So we'll send you a date and a link to register for that as a follow-up to this session. Otherwise, yeah, thanks very much for your questions, everyone. Do share the event with your friends and your work colleagues and all your business network. As many members and questions as we can answer, the more the better, because we know that Amazon does cause some problems. So yeah, great. Well, listen, thank you very much.
One last thing for me, sorry, Lee and Louise. I'd love to see you back on next time to see how you got on. I think it'd be quite interesting for everyone to understand the follow-up from where you were, and if we helped at all, it'd be great if you can come back next time.
Yeah, that'd be really good. Great. Brilliant. Okay, guys. Well, listen, thanks very much for joining. Hopefully we'll see you again in 2 weeks' time, and enjoy the rest of your days.
Enjoy the sun.
Brilliant. Thanks very much.